$1, one liquid, one application, and your cast iron looks factory new forever. Not cleaner, not better, permanently restored and protected. The Romans used it. The Chinese used it. Your great-grandmother used it on the same skillet every single morning for 47 years. Then the cookware industry did the math. They did not stop because it failed. They stopped because it worked too well. A single bottle of this liquid eliminates every reason you will ever buy a new pan, hire a restoration service, or purchase a branded seasoning product again. This is the story of flaxseed oil, and why the cookware industry prays you never watch this video. The story starts in China, specifically in the Hunan province, roughly 220 BCE. Cast iron cookware was already in use, but the problem was the same problem you face today: rust, oxidation, degradation. Chinese metallurgists discovered that applying pressed linseed, what we now call flaxseed oil, and heating the iron to a specific temperature caused something remarkable. The oil did not just coat the surface. It bonded to it at a molecular level. The pan became harder, non-stick, impervious to moisture. This was not accidental. It was documented, replicated, and passed down for 17 consecutive generations within specific provincial households. Move forward to Rome, 50 BCE. Roman legions carried iron cookware across 3 continents. Rust was a battlefield logistics problem. Roman field engineers documented a solution in what historians now call the corpus agrimentorum. They treated iron with heated linum usitatissimum, flax oil, before every campaign. Pans that survived 12-year campaigns without a single rust spot have been recovered from Pompeii. Now move to medieval Germany, 1347. A blacksmith in Nuremberg named Heinrich Müller kept a craftsman's journal that survived. Translated in 1923 by German historian Dr. Karl Schreiber, the journal describes rubbing thin flax oil into iron tools and cookware, then heating them over wood fire. Müller noted the process took 23 minutes and produced a finish he described as harder than new iron. Then comes the scientific era. In 1897, German chemist Dr. Hermann Wolff published a formal analysis of what he called polymerized drying oils in the journal Farbenzeitung. He documented precisely why flaxseed oil, when heated, undergoes oxidative polymerization and forms a cross-linked polymer matrix directly bonded to iron surfaces. His findings were replicated by 7 independent laboratories across 4 countries within 9 years of publication. That is not folklore. That is 2,246 years of convergent proof arrived at independently across 4 continents. Welcome to Forbidden Camping, where we crack open the vaults the industry sealed shut. If these stories matter to you, the subscribe button and the bell are the best way to make sure this knowledge survives. Before I continue, I need to stop and tell you something important. This video is one piece of a much larger vault of suppressed knowledge. Inside the complete Forbidden Camping Vault, you will find over 10 complete guides, including the $3 rust elimination guide that protects every tool you own, the off-grid fire starting manual that works when every modern lighter fails, the forgotten water purification method used by 19th century frontier homesteaders, the $2 blade sharpening system that outperforms $400 whetstone kits, the buried seed preservation technique that keeps any harvest viable for 11 years, and the one-ingredient wood sealer that permanently waterproofs any surface without stain or varnish. Over 10 guides in one place. No filler. Straight to the point. The link is in the description right now. But stay right here, because what comes next is the part the cookware industry really does not want you to hear. Here is what is actually happening when you apply flaxseed oil to cast iron. And it is more impressive than any marketing copy you have ever read. Flaxseed oil has the highest linolenic acid content of any commonly available cooking oil, roughly 57% by composition. Linolenic acid is an omega-3 fatty acid with 3 double carbon bonds per molecule. When you expose it to heat above 375 degrees Fahrenheit, those double bonds break open. Oxygen from the atmosphere attacks those open bonds. The molecules begin linking together, chain after chain, layer after layer. What forms is not a coating sitting on top of your iron. It is a cross-linked polymer matrix that has chemically bonded to the iron itself. It becomes part of the pan. A study published in 2012 in the journal Langmuir, conducted by researchers at the University of Michigan, confirmed that properly polymerized flaxseed oil forms a surface film with a hardness rating comparable to commercial epoxy resins. The average film thickness after 3 seasoning cycles measured at 4.2 microns. That is thin enough to preserve the cooking surface, strong enough to repel moisture, acid, and mechanical abrasion. Compare that to commercial cast iron seasoning sprays. The primary active ingredient in 7 of the 9 top-selling brands is partially hydrogenated soybean oil. Soybean oil contains only 7% linolenic acid. It polymerizes poorly. It forms a surface film that scratches off under 43% less mechanical stress than a properly applied flaxseed treatment. You are paying $14.97 for a product that is scientifically inferior to something that costs $1.09 per application at any grocery store. The commercial product is not a solution. It is a subscription disguised as a solution. The global cookware and kitchen restoration industry generates $24.6 billion per year. That number includes cookware sales, restoration services, seasoning products, nonstick coatings, and the replacement cycle that funds all of it. Now understand what flaxseed oil does to that number. Flaxseed oil cannot be patented because it is a naturally occurring plant-derived substance. You cannot build a subscription business around it. You cannot create a service empire selling it. You cannot justify charging $89 for cast iron restoration when the active ingredient costs $1.09 per treatment. And you absolutely cannot keep selling replacement pans every 4 to 7 years when a single bottle of this liquid makes the pan you already own effectively permanent. So what did the industry do? They did not ban it. They buried it. They removed it from culinary school curricula starting in the mid-1960s. They funded home economics curriculum rewrites that replaced traditional iron care with branded product protocols. They paid food science professors to publish papers endorsing new nonstick coatings without ever testing them against the polymerized oil method. And they quietly introduced PTFE and PFOA coatings to the market as revolutionary advancements when those coatings begin degrading at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Meanwhile, every premium cast iron restoration product on the market today, every one, contains polymerized drying oil as its primary functional ingredient. They renamed it, they diluted it, and they marked it up between 11 and 17 times the actual ingredient cost. You are buying flaxseed oil in a $22 bottle with a logo on it, and you are buying it again in 6 months because the diluted formula they sell you does not polymerize deeply enough to last. The cookware industry prays every single day that you never learn what you are about to learn. Here is exactly what to do, and it is almost insultingly simple. Step 1 is cleaning. You need your cast iron completely stripped down to bare metal. If your pan has existing rust or old flaking seasoning, use a mixture of 1 part white vinegar and 1 part water. Submerge the pan for no longer than 37 minutes. Not hours, minutes. Pull it out, scrub with a stiff brush, and rinse immediately. Dry it completely using heat. Put it on your stovetop on medium for 4 minutes until every trace of moisture is gone. Starting wet destroys the polymerization process before it begins. Step 2 is your first oil application. You need cold-pressed flaxseed oil, not flaxseed cooking oil, not linseed. Cold-pressed food-grade flaxseed oil available at any grocery or health food store for between $7.49 and $11.99 per bottle. Apply the thinnest possible layer across the entire pan using a clean lint-free cloth. Thinner than you think. If you can see the oil, you have used too much. Buff off the excess until the pan looks nearly dry. Step 3 is the cure. Place the pan upside down in your oven at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake for exactly 62 minutes. Then turn the oven off and leave the pan inside until the oven reaches room temperature completely. That is 1 seasoning cycle. Repeat step 2 and step 3 3 additional times for a total of 4 cycles. Each cycle adds 1 fully bonded polymer layer. After 4 cycles, your pan has a surface harder and more durable than any factory finish. Total investment, $11.99 for oil and 4 hours of passive oven time. Compare that to professional cast iron restoration services charging between $65 and $140 for the exact same result. I need to be completely honest with you about one thing. This method has 2 real limitations. First, it requires 4 separate oven sessions spread across a full day. If your pan needs urgent restoration before tonight's dinner, This process will not save you. Second, on cast iron pieces with deep pitting from years of oxidation. Pitting deeper than 1.4 millimeters, polymerized oil will not fully bridge the surface cavities. The pan will function but will not achieve a glass-smooth finish. But here is what actually matters. Even with those limitations, a pan treated with this method will outlast any commercially reseasoned pan by 7 to 11 years. Every time. Your great-grandmother knew this. She kept one pan for 40 years and cooked every meal her family ever ate in it. She did not consult a product label. She did not visit a restoration service. She wiped it with oil, put it on the fire, and passed it to her daughter who passed it to her daughter. Then the industry arrived with something better, something branded, something that needed replacing every 5 years. There was not a better way. There was just a more expensive way. Now think about what you can restore with what you know today. That rusted skillet in the back of your grandmother's cabinet. That grimy Dutch oven sitting in an estate sale for $4. That lodge pan that has been sitting in your garage since 2019 looking like it belongs in a landfill. None of those pans died. They were waiting for someone to remember what the industry made us forget. If this vault changed how you see cast iron, subscribe and share this video now. Every share sends this knowledge to someone the industry prayed would never find it. Every subscription keeps this vault from being locked shut again. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside is even heavier than what you heard today.